G'day guys, it's Tom here with MYT Solar. Another video here today. We just finished up installing on this 25 DVS. This is really cool. This is the new floor plan, which is basically the 25 RDS, but it's a backcountry series. So it has the onboard generator, and I'll talk about how awesome the generator is with our systems. It's a very question I get all the time is there any point to the generator? Absolutely, and I'll get into that. The customer ordered this with 1,000 watts from factory solar. The solar panels on the roof are the factory solar 1,000 watts, but then we came in and overhauled the system, brought the batteries inside, did our full MYT install with 990 amp hours of battery and an onboard generator and 1,000 watts of solar. This customer is going to be doing pretty good for power. Again, this is the 25 DVS, which is an awesome new floor plan based on the 25 RDS. Basically the same layout, it's just this is a backcountry, so it's going to have all those perks that the backcountry series have. If you've seen some of our 25 RDS videos, this is our place for the Touch 70 here. Nice place in the hallway. It's not going to distract you in the bedroom with any unnecessary light. All your information, I've talked about this at large, but it's very important to have a way to know what each piece of this system is doing, what the solar is doing, what the batteries are doing, how many watts you're pulling from shore power, what the multi-plus is doing, how much stuff you're running in the coach, and how that's going to affect your battery life. It's just amazing how valuable this information is as RVers who are always on a budget for power. We're always on a budget for water. Having a way to actually very specifically see your power usage is just, it changes the way that you RV. We get the question all the time, should I get the factory solar, the 1,000 watts from Outdoors RV, or any brand trailer, should I go with the factory solar? We're almost always going to recommend just getting the minimum from the factory. 1,000 watts is an awesome amount of solar for someone who's using this rig like factory, meaning they're using the 12 volt and they have the normal lead acid batteries on the front. When you upgrade to one of our systems, you're always going to want for a little more power. The good thing about not upgrading to the 1,000 watts from the factory is that we can come in, we can use our rich branded solar panels, which we know and trust, and this trailer, we've done everything except for basically screwing the panels on the roof. So everything else is ours. We overhaul the system anyway. Also, it gives you the ability to go to 1,500 watts, to 2,000 watts. The possibilities are endless with the amount of solar, but this customer went with 1,000 watts of factory. You can see they do a good job of putting the panels down, but there's not really room for more. So if the customer wanted to add to this, they haven't placed the panels exactly where I might want to put them if I'm trying to maximize and squeeze more panels onto the roof. With this 1,000 watts from Outdoors RV, you're going to get your 2 MPTs usually here in the pass-through. As we're going to a full Victron suite, those get replaced. But what I do put in the pass-through here is a factory disconnect for the solar. I shouldn't say a factory disconnect, it's an MYT disconnect. So we put that in, which is something that you've got to have, a way to disconnect the panels from the battery. Luckily, even though it's 1,000 watts of factory solar, we're still coming in and adding the required disconnects. Lithium batteries being a little sensitive to cold temperatures, we bring the batteries in, they're not on the tongue, they're not in the pass-through, they're inside here where it's climate controlled. Basically, if you're in this RV, you're going to be running the furnace, which will keep the batteries warm. Usually it's a concern about batteries being too cold, which shouldn't be a problem unless you sleep really, really, really cold. Under the bed here, we've added venting to the bed. The multi-plus and the batteries and everything is all under here. We have ample venting and there's a lot of space here. We always get a question about, is there somewhere else that's a good place to put the equipment? And after doing enough of these, I can tell you that by giving up the shoe cubby and these 2 small drawers and being able to fit this much equipment with plenty of breathing room laid out neatly, you're just not going to find a better way to do this in a climate controlled environment. Lithium batteries do not off-gas hydrogen like their lead acid counterparts do, so there's no concerns there. They're a fairly solid state battery. The multi-plus is going to make a little noise and get a little warm, but that's exactly why I have it venting out the top here and I have an intake vent on the other side. No real concerns about that. You probably can't hear it, but the fans on the multi-plus are on right now. So some people talk about noise. That's really only going to be an issue when maybe you first get to a campground and you plug in and the multi-plus is working really hard as a charger to get those batteries full, but after a few hours that's going to be silent. The other time the multi-plus might be working hard as an inverter, but if it's working hard as an inverter, you're running the microwave or the air conditioner or one of those items, and that's going to be a lot louder than this is. No real concerns with noise, no real concerns with heat, This is where we have ours in our rig, and this is where all our customers have theirs. And it's just a great place for it here under the bed. It's a lot of power. Again, 990 amp hours. These are Victron's 330 amp hour batteries. We've got 3 of those in parallel. Because it's a Victron system, we've got the Lynx Smart BMS controlling the batteries. The 2 MPTs charge controllers that replace the 2 factory charge controllers. Our Servo GX over here with all the wires hanging out of it is our brains of the operation. And obviously our Multiplus is our charger. When we're plugged in, it's charging, and it's charging those batteries really, really quickly. And then we're unplugged, then it's going to work as an inverter, which means it's going to give you 120 volt from your batteries. This might not be an accurate representation, but because the microphone may pick it up more than the normal ear can hear, but here's the sound that you have coming from the Multiplus. It's really quiet, but it's obviously noticeable. But again, it's only in those certain circumstances where it's going to make noise, so it's not a concern overnight. Again, I wanted to talk about the generator and people asking whether they should either carry one or if it has an onboard, do they need solar? This is a 3600 watt generator. If we think about the Multiplus when it's charging, because the generator is going to fire up the Multiplus, which will allow it to charge the battery. So you're running the generator to charge your batteries. One of the good things about a 3600 generator is that it has enough power to let the Multiplus charge your batteries at full speed whilst also running the air conditioner. This means, say you're out camping and your solar is, maybe you don't have enough solar on the roof, maybe you're not doing as well with clouds. Say after day 3 or 4 your batteries are a little low, you've been using the inverter, running all that 120 volt without even thinking about touching the generator. But say your batteries get down to about 30% and you want to be out for longer. Because this is a 3600 watt generator on these backcountry series, it's going to have enough power to run the Multiplus and also run your air conditioner at the same time. So if it's a hot day, you want to run the air conditioner, you're going to be at the rig for 3 or 4 hours, you get to know that you'll be cool for 3 or 4 hours in the air conditioner, and at the end of that, you're probably going to have that 990 amp hour bank back to fully charged and ready to go another 3 or 4 days. Again, do you need a generator if you have solar? Well, firstly, do you have enough solar on the roof? 1000 watts is decent, but 2500 is even better. But still, a generator is going to pair well with the Victron system, and it changes how you use a generator. Because you have the inverter, you're not firing up the generator every time you want to run the coffee, every time you run the air conditioner. Those things are just going to work straight from your battery bank. The generator just becomes a supplemental way to juice up your batteries and bring that bank back to full if the solar isn't quite performing. So yeah, generator, you don't have to, but even carrying a little small 1800 generator is not a bad idea with a Victron system. This is Tom with MYT Solar here in Pendleton, Oregon. If you need any solar needs, any trailer, motorhome, fifth wheel, you're looking for some RV solar, don't be scared to reach out. We'd love to help you out. Thanks for watching. Cheers.